Yeah.
Hey, hey man, what's
So,
happening? It's your
so
boy. Oh no,
go
you
ahead,
got
go
it.
ahead, homie.
I'm hood. Hey man, what's happening? It's your boy Dreaming Foreign. Never living life born, baby man. I got my big bro, man, you know what I'm saying? He gonna go ahead and introduce himself, man, but it's a real trench, you know what I'm saying? God out of St. Louis, man, from St. Louis to Slauson, man. Introduce yourself, big bro.
Yo, what's up, man? I'm Benefactor, man, formerly known as Sin, man, and from St. Louis, from Bluebud, 44 Bluebud to be exact. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out here in the land, man. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying myself. What's
All
up to
right.
all the viewers? How y'all doing?
Yeah, man, they just bomb rushing in here. That's you know how that go. But I'm gonna go ahead, you know what I'm saying, be real formal because we got a real historian in the building, man. From your age, man, when did the Crips and Bloods come to St. Louis that you can remember? What age and what
That I
year?
can remember. I'm gonna say this, right? So I was born out here in Cali. I was born up north in Sacramento. So when I came to St. Louis in like 84, 85, by the time I was 7 years old, the cripping and shit was going on. You feel what I'm saying? So I could remember since I was seven, right? That's what, 88,
All right, all right.
you know?
Now was it now from the '80s, the late '80s? You know what I'm saying? What gangs dominated the area that you was in?
When I was a youngster, I really wouldn't know what dominated. You feel what I'm saying? Because I guess it was just new or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or or like people were just getting identified with themselves. But I just know like as I got older, like formulating into the 90s, like the OPAC, the Bud, we were dominating. You feel what I'm saying? But you had other hoods that was dominating also, you know. Um, but we just had a big presence, man, because we was moving around, schools, uh different clubs, you know what I'm saying? So uh people having different family members on different parts of the town. So, the big homies, they was kind of like hand picking people off each set, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I remember.
All right, on the hood, man. So in the early '90s, man, when you got put on and shit like that, man. From your knowledge and your experience, man, who was some big names, you know, in your section, and if you can elaborate in other sections, if you had, an opportunity or a chance to know that.
So look, right, because I don't really do too much like name dropping and shit, but like when I'm speaking on these individuals, you know, may they rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like uh the homie S, you know what I'm saying? The homie Scary, the homie Birdman, S was one of the ones who, would have people out here and was functioning with different dudes or whatever, Um and the homie Scary, you know, when he got killed, that's what took our situation and made the quote unquote family get into it. Put it that way.
Now, for those that don't know, man, because I don't even know, but I'm gonna ask, what does scary mean to you? You know what I'm saying? Because for somebody to pass away, and for that to have an domino effect in the city, to make it, because a lot of people sleeping, but I ain't sleeping. St. Louis is the murder capital. So
Yeah,
how did that
unfortunately it
person,
is.
rest in peace, is scary? What type of person he was for people that don't know, that be on social media making up stories about him? Tell the people what type of person he was and how did that affect you and affect the neighborhood when he passed away, without going into details on how he passed away. We know it was through streets, but just other things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, man. Just from what I can remember, man, he used to he was a nice guy, man. You know, kept a smile. You know what I'm saying? He used to come over to my house a lot, you know, because him and my uncle, you know, was friends. You know what I mean? I remember he had this 6'4". You know what I'm saying? That's what they call him, 6'4" scary. You know what I'm saying? He had a 6'4". Uh, and yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? He just was, you know, from stories, you know, because like I said, I was young. You know, all I know is, you know, I would see him. You know what I mean? And but from the stories, man, just a dude with a lot of heart, you know, that could fight real good. Uh, you know what I'm saying? The girls liked him, you
Was he
know,
light
things of that
skinned, dark
nature.
skinned, big ass nigga skinny? Like what type of what was
Nah,
his stature?
he was my complexion, you know,
All
medium
right.
complexion. You know, he wasn't no real big dude, but you know, just a guy with charisma. You know what I'm saying?
So a player, he was a player, but he was about his business. Because a lot
Yeah,
of
for
niggas
sure.
forgot about that. You know, everybody want to be tough. They forgot we was in the generation we had players around. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't really about being tough. You know, it was just kind of basically like standing on yours, not taking no shit, not bothering nobody. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? You'll handle your business if you had to, you know?
On the hood. So for that under the rock age, did you initially start cripping? And when you worked and throwing in names, just far as LA based hoods that y'all was at odds with, Crip or Blood.
So so um like when I officially jumped off the porch, you know what I'm saying? It was like 96, 95, 96. You know. And it was on. You know, I had moved out of town a few years, you know, and then when I came back, like it was officially on with like some friends that I knew. You know what I'm saying? Uh so like and as far as the LA sets, you know, and this the thing, like, you know, a lot of people, I'm gonna say this here, you know, we were into it with the Six Deuce East Coast Crips, right? And I don't think it was because they were Six Deuces. I just think that, you know, shit had happened. You know what I'm saying? And it was almost like, uh, you know, St. Louis people know the Hatfield and McCoys. It was a big family, and you know what I'm saying? They just kind of separated once some shit happened, you know, and it went up from there. You know what I'm saying? And it was real serious. Like I say, it's scary was, you know, that person. You know what I'm saying? And may his soul rest in peace. You know, when that happened, like I could remember going to their funeral. That was like 91, I believe, you know. And I'm talking about, man, it was so many people there. The helicopter flying you know, over the funeral. Like it was a lot of people, man. And he meant a lot to a lot of people, man. So, you know, they heard it bad, you know. And it just, you know what I'm saying? It kind of took it up from there, you know, where emotions got involved.
So the Six Deuces, as far as Damu neighborhoods, was y'all into it with any Damu neighborhoods?
Not really, man. We weren't really focused on them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it was just on with these particular people. So, you know, but it was a few, you know, it was a few, without just dropping the names, but it was a few, you know,
On the
club fights, shit like that. You know
oh,
what I'm
was it not
saying?
really serious? It was just when y'all see them,
Nah,
y'all see.
yeah, it wasn't really serious because we just had the serious personal shit with those guys, you know?
No, on the set though, man. And for people that don't know, man, so the Rolling 60s, they've been out in St. Louis, man, since basically the 80s and whatnot, man. Not the 90s, since the 80s. All right.
Yeah.
All right, on hood. What Crip hoods, from your experience, man, you seeing out there just far as the Crip side that was out there in St. Louis, man.
Man, we got a lot of them, man. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we got the 19th, you know what I'm saying? We got the 20s, you know, a few of those. We got the A trays, you know. We got shit, the 5 trays, you know what I'm saying? But most of the, put it like this, man. Most of the people down there, it's like we kind of bang our neighborhoods, right? Our section where we grew up at, right? A
Yeah.
particular street, right? And just let's just say these people just so happen to be this, right? They just so happen to be 60s, or they just so happen to be 8 trays, or they just so happen to be 19s. You know what I'm saying? Um, but we bang our streets, right? So that's what that is. You know, a few guys had maybe family members out this way, you know, or you know what I'm saying, they was politicking with their family from out this way. So that's probably how they, you know, got on to it.
All right. So basically, just for those that don't know, man, it's all about what neighborhood you in. It doesn't really particularly matter what hood, long as it's in like far as like gangs, but long as it's the neighborhood. So if your ass from, let's just say, 4th Street, nigga, this 4th Street over everything, because that's what's in you from the get up type shit. All
Yeah,
right, that's what
yeah,
it
man.
is.
Because we was, you know, it's your community. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of that, St. Louis got a lot of black people. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it be about communities. Like, you know, we represent our parks. We got a park. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call Old Fallon Park. You know, um, and it's a collective of two different blocks. Well, maybe 3-4 different blocks. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? You got you got some of the homies off the Lay side, the 2-1 Lay side. You got some of the homies from 4-5 Fur. You know what I'm saying? You had the homies from 4-6 Pope. You know what I'm saying? So like as a collective, you know, we did the OPAC thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for I meant to say, you know, two, we had some underground, some 90s. There's a few of the homies that rap underground 90s.
On the hood, yeah. Shout out to my UGs. So
Yeah.
for everybody that's outside of St. Louis, though, man, what's one of the biggest strongholds for the '60s? Like, don't you don't have to say a particular neighborhood, but like far as like the north or the south, or you think everybody just spread it apart and it's just even?
Well, I'm gonna say this, right? Like my particular set, you know, the 4-4 Bud, we had a strong hold for a while. You know what I'm saying? But you do have other sets, you know, that had their hold. You know what I'm saying? You got the homies down off the Soto, where like, you know, the homie, and you saw. I don't know if you saw, but it was floating around on the internet where you know, Big U had went down to St. Louis and he was politicking with them. You know what I'm saying? Like them some of the homies too. Um, but like, yeah, man, you know, everybody just kind of was doing their thing. You know, if you was out there in the streets, you motherfuckers will know who you is. Put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, everybody in St. Louis kind of like know each other. Now, this new generation, what's going on out here right now, it's a lot. You feel what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna even lie. You know, I ain't gonna act like I'm in tune with all that because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I heard little shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. It's different sets everywhere. You know, but uh, like at one point in the '90s, early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? Like we were really, you know, putting that force out there.
So if you
From and I'm third generation fofo bud. You feel what I'm saying?
all right. So for people on the outside looking in, man, when they say which side started the rolling '60s, far as in St. Louis, or which hood started, or which apartment complex, if you were at liberty to say, what would you say?
Right? I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't even. And I'm 44, and I couldn't really tell you who started what. Right? So like, you know, from what I heard, I just know the homie S was functioning with some dudes who may have been out this way. Right? So All I know is, bruh, a lot of people in the loop, they don't leave the city. You know what I'm saying? They don't necessarily leave a block, right? So like you may have some people over here cripping and you ain't really leaving your block, you know what I'm saying? Because if things going on your block, right? So you don't know that it's some people over here cripping. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't even really moving around. You just in your section. You just doing whatever you doing over in your section. So, it could be something as simple as that, where, you know, a situation get mistranslated, right? So I can't say who started it. I just know by the time I was 7, I knew about it, right? And I'm throwing it up at 7 years old. You feel what I'm saying? And it's at 88. So hey, you know what I'm saying? That's all I know. All I can remember is coming in the house. My uncle, he got the big RSC 60 on his jacket. You feel me? So you know what I'm
It was
saying? So
engraved
it's
in you
like,
on the set, though. Feel me?
huh?
I said it was already engraved in you, your family, your
Yeah,
uncles and shit like that. You feel me? Already from the hood.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So man, we got to go ahead and break it out, man. There's been a lot of controversial things going on, man, surrounding your city, man. Even though we know you in LA for the viewers, you know what I'm saying, the homie in LA, but he out of St. Louis. The controversy is basically, we're gonna get right to it because we talked to them, before.
Mhm.
The Rolling 60s, the 107 Hoovers are clicked up in there in one group. That's what's spreading.
Nah, man. I don't know. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't know nothing about no 107 Hoovers. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that I do. Uh I just know like around our area, right? You know what I'm saying? You had the 60s, you
For
had the
sure.
19s, and you had our guys that's off the Soto. You feel what I'm saying? And some of the ones that's across Grand, they're rep 20s. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I know. I don't know about no 107 who. Now maybe it is some. Maybe it's some guys that claim 107 Hoover, right? And they just fell up under the tree and they never really spoke on that. You know? Like they just really didn't speak on it. You wouldn't know because they was repping the 60s or the old pack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really just out there like that.
Yeah, man, because there's been a lot of controversy going on behind that. And you see guys like 607 Unk, man, claiming he's a 107 Hoover, you know what I'm saying? And just all these antics or whatnot, this character or whatnot, but everybody says it's a
Yeah,
character, man.
yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm familiar with him, but I don't really know him like that. You know what I'm saying? I know he functioned with some of my peoples, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really know him like that.
All right, all right, all right. Cool, cool, man. So it's another thing too we need to talk about, man. It's an interview that I had or whatnot with Hood TV or Hood History TV or whatnot, and he's out of St. Louis or whatnot, man. And
Um,
it was a lot of things that was said in that interview, a lot of things that was said and whatnot, man. And I had a lot of people that was furious with that video whatnot. A few people happy, but a lot of people were furious or whatnot, and a lot of misinformation was said in that interview or whatnot. And I just want you to elaborate and just give me your thoughts and when you first seen that video, if you had a chance to.
yeah, I seen it, man, and I'm gonna say this here, right? Like, so apparently, whoever the guy is, right? His family may know something, right? But I just know if you not in the streets or you wasn't in the streets or in the field back then, like it's a lot of things don't know. It's a lot of things that you really even shouldn't even be speaking on. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's dudes that, you know what I'm saying, we all know that didn't die behind them. Motherfuckers got hella time behind this shit. People done got shot. I done been shot behind this shit. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, if you ain't from the streets, like, you shouldn't really kind of speak on it. Like, if you ain't gonna speak on it from the aspect of telling kids like not to really get involved in it, you know what I'm saying? But you just, like, if you just out there like, oh, I know the, you know, I know this and I know, like, I really don't feel like you should be speaking on that. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of people giving you secondhand information, you know what I'm saying? And you may get the stories mixed up, you know, things of that nature. Like, we push it positivity now, right? And I just see that person being infatuated with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because if you saying that, you know, you keeping the kids away from it, that's one thing, but don't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? In that manner, right? And of course, like, you know, listen, man, ain't nothing wrong with being from where you from. You just don't have to participate in the extracurricular activities that be going on in them fields. You feel what I'm saying? You be proud of where you from, because everybody is from somewhere. I don't care who you is. You from somewhere, right? If you black, if you know, if you Hispanic, if you know what I'm saying, you from somewhere. So be proud of where you from, but try to, you know what I'm saying, do something different with your life if you'd have made it out those situations. So that's all I'm gonna say.
No, on the hood because he was definitely pointing out that the A Trade gangsters and Hoovers in the Rolling 60s, they don't beef, which is, you know, that sounds normal. But when he was saying they was something like a hybrid clique or whatnot, a lot of people debunked that or whatnot, saying that that wasn't accurate.
Yeah, man, I don't know nothing about that. Maybe that's something new. Maybe that's something that started in, maybe, you know what I'm saying, after 2005, 2010, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. All I know is, man, dudes that was in the field, man, they all know each other. You know what I'm saying? And they got respect for one another, whether you enemies or allies. You feel what I'm saying? The respect runs deep.
Nah, that's real. And he also mentioned that St. Louis was pretty much a get money town, and in the '80s and early '90s, don't quote me, pardon me if I'm wrong, that the violence wasn't up there like that, but it was pretty much a get money type of city or whatnot. You know, dibbling around that time. Is that some truth to it, or was it
Man,
violent back then?
St. Louis always been violent. You got to remember, like, if you know, with some of our history, and I just been recently doing some homework on our history. Even before us, you had the Italians that was doing stuff like blowing up cars in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like people would come to St. Louis, the Jesse James and, you know, the people who were outlaws. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so St. Louis always had that violent aura. It's just that, you know, coming up as a kid, things were a little bit more simpler. You know what I'm saying? Because people ain't expecting too much out of you. I'm gonna say this: by the time I was 9, I seen somebody get shot. That's at 9 years old. You feel what I'm saying? So it's always been violent, even way before then. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's the, I guess that's the unfortunate part about that. But it's definitely a money getting city. You know, people be getting to some paper. You know what I mean?
All right, and even though we keyways or whatnot, do you know anything about any Inglewood families being in the city?
Uh, yeah, I know a few. You know what I'm saying? It's a few of them, a few sets. You know what I'm saying? That do that. Yeah, it's a few sets that do that.
All right. Is they the 7 7s? Are they the non-deuce? Are you not sure?
Now that part, I couldn't even tell you,
On
you
the
know what I'm
hood.
saying? Because I ain't, I ain't from they hood. I just, you know what I'm saying? I got a few homies that I function with that's, from over there, you know what I'm saying? But we never got into what they actually represent, you know what I'm saying? But, what I could do, I definitely could. If it's ever, uh, you want to talk, you know what I'm saying? I could get in contact with some of them and you could do that with them. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Because a lot of people be forgetting, man, that St. Louis definitely had a lot of West Coast hoods that actually come there. Whatnot, it was a lot of money, what I'm saying, to be made out there, and a lot of
Yeah.
people stayed out there from different hoods and different sets and whatnot, Blood, Crip, Hoover, and a whole bunch of different things and whatnot. So it's always been a place where motherfuckers, um, escape their troubles or whatnot and try to start a new life and get some money. So yeah,
Right.
man, for sure, we definitely can do that. Um, And another thing too, man, far as with this new style of banging, man, you see a lot of dudes that are quote unquote enemies, man. They see each other in traffic and they record each other, man. Can you just remember back in the 90s, late 90s, man, mid 90s, like how was it, man? You know what I'm saying? Like an average day, like you a teenager, you outside, you doing your shit. How was it? Just for the people, like if you go back to 97, how was it?
Man, listen, back in them days, bro, we definitely weren't doing no recording. You know what I'm saying? Like if you came up in the streets in that era, uh, you wasn't fucking with no camera for real like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? People were shy when it came to that camera and shit like that. So you definitely wasn't recording enemies like because it was too serious. You know what I'm saying? Like who got time to be pulling out a phone when you see your enemy? I mean, that don't even sound right to me.
It
I
don't.
mean, unless y'all ain't really enemies, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's right though, man. Niggas are pulling out cellular devices, man. I already know that they ain't trying to do nothing, man. So in other words though, man, it's a lot of things that you do too, man. That the people don't know, man. You rap too, man. I see you got, your shit cracking and whatnot, man. And you also out here in LA or whatnot, man, because like you said, a lot of people don't leave their block. You actually left the state, man. So just give us a little story on that, man. And also we're rapping too, man. You know.
Yeah, man. Man, I've been rapping since I was 7, bro. Like me and my cousin, man, we was in the group back then called the Notorious Youngsters. You know what I'm saying? We had a performance at this place called Nights on Broadway. You know what I'm saying? If anybody at that was older, if y'all was clubbing back then, y'all go to Nights on Broadway. Yeah, I was one of the youngsters that was recording. You know what I'm saying? Performing, and it was it was a big fight that broke out. So, but yeah, man, me and my cousin, man, we was in the group, and then like back in like I say 99, 2000, my uncle Budweiser got out the joint and he put an album out and he had a song featuring Sibo and Big Hollis from out north in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? So after that, me and my cousin, we formulated a group, the Bud Committee. So we put out music, right? But we never had a chance to get it out nationwide. It was just, we'd making songs for the homies, you know what I'm saying? And they was turned up off of that. And you could go on YouTube and type up Budweiser, Budwisa to get that album. You know what I'm saying? And that was back in 2000, That was some underground hard ass shit. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want to type in Benefactor, Binafacta, that's me. I got a few videos out there. But we been fucking with this music for a long time. Um, it's just that St. Louis is a small city that be compared to big cities. So we kind of get overlooked, especially with Chicago being right there. And then you got Detroit down the street. So them guys kind of, what I'm saying, they kind of overshadowed us. But man, we got a lot of hard ass artists, what I'm saying, in that city from back then.
Mm. And I gotta ask you a throwback question. The Six Coast East Coasters, before they were called the Six Coast East Coasters, what project or neighborhood they were called before that? Like before they were Six Deuce East Coasters, if you can recall.
Shit, bro, I don't know. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
Like I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like I stay away from. That. You know what I'm saying? That
On the hood,
subject. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I let them do them. You know what I'm saying?
On the hood, yeah, for sure, for sure. No, I was just always curious about that because I'm like, damn, because it's like everybody was all cool with each other, you know what I'm saying? Then that's when, such
Yeah,
and
yeah,
such happened and shit.
definitely that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely that. It was like a family function. You know what I'm saying? And then things transpired to where it just went up. You know what I'm saying? It just went up, and then like after that, man, you had other sets in the city picking and choosing sides, right? So you either was fucking with the 44 Bluebird, the OPAC, or you was fucking with them. Like it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it happened, you know?
That shit crazy too because you got the light skinned nigga, 30 Deep Grimy, whatever his name is, that nigga made. Because at first, I'm being real because, me and you talk. When you think
Mm-hmm.
about St. Louis, you think about Nelly, but then you start doing Google search. You like, hold on, why is this is the number one murder capital for like the last 10 years, 20 years? You like, damn, what's going on? Like, ain't nothing changing. These some po ass niggas. But then you see guys like 30 D Grimer, you see other dudes and whatnot, man, that's just really giving you the real gang war, what was going on. And I didn't even know East Coasters were orange out there. Like everything out there was just completely different. And like, you
Yeah.
know, this shit was crazy, but it's real shootings and real murders and real things going on back to back, back to back. And nobody's stopping and nobody's, waving a white flag. So yeah, that shit crazy out there in St. Louis.
And that's the thing, man. Like, man, we damn near all family. That's how small it is. You know what I'm saying? You'll have cousins into it with each other, so um I don't think it's just so much like that now. I guess with this new little thing going on, you got different sets messing with each other, whatever, or beefing with each other, but it really ain't it really ain't making no sense because it ain't about a dollar. You know what I'm saying? So um, like for real, you know what I'm saying? It just like you get I suggest people to get out the city, you know what I'm saying, and move around, man. It's a big world out here. You know what I'm saying? You get to some money, you ain't gonna really be wanting to be beefing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause you get to start doing stuff. That's just kind of what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's money down there, it's money to be made, right? But I don't think people just be focused on getting no money because they don't see no hell of a future coming up out that city. You know what I'm saying? And that's all, that's just how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're fortunate to move around, get you some money, man, do that. You know what I'm saying? Get you some money and move around because it's a lot out here.
Nah, that's real. So your ventures to LA, man, from your experience, man, what's the difference between LA and Missouri? Well, just California and Missouri, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's start with the racism. You think it's more racist in Missouri or in California?
Well, I think it's a different type of racism. You know what I'm saying? Like in Missouri, we don't have that racism when it comes to like the Hispanics and shit like that. Not that I know of. All the Hispanic people that I ever came across were cool. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But I have experienced that out here. Now you do have white and black racism, the police. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Same here.
they really be on that. You know, they really be on that. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because they put all the white polices in the black neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? In the black communities. You know what I'm saying? So um that's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the what I be seeing out here, like, or what I've encountered out here as far as the Hispanic situation. Like, it kind of threw me for a loop because I'm like, damn, this something new, on me. You know what I'm saying? But California as a whole and St. Louis as a whole, I see a lot of people out here minding their business. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, you can have nice things and people ain't bothering you unless you looking to be bothered. You know, um, there is like it's kind of hard to have something nice. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the people that wanna steal your car or just hate on you because you might be getting to a couple dollars or whatever. But hopefully it'll get better. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, by the spotlight being on St. Louis, now more people can start moving around and getting to some paper. You know what I'm saying? So they can feed their family because that's all that matter. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to be about, feeding your family. Anything else is absurd.
Nah, that's a real shit, like you being from the Midwest, man, from people that's out of town, man, and just thinking that LA sweet or whatnot, man. What advice would you give out of towners, man? Because we out of towners, but we know what it is and what it ain't, man. Just let them boys know what it is, man.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a sweet, man. You really when you get down to like the inner city part of LA, like what South Central, you know what I'm saying? When you get down there, you gotta be careful about what hats you rock, man. That is a real serious thing, man. And I could tell you that from experience, not to elaborate on it, but that's a real serious thing, man. You gotta be careful with them hats, man. You know, I suggest the old rocker hat or you know what I'm saying, rock some other type of hat, but stay away from the baseball caps, man.
I wear
You
my
know what I mean?
waves. I'm telling y'all, just brush your hair and wear waves, my nigga. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, nah, for real, man. That is that's a serious thing, man. You know what I'm saying? So but I understand though. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's right though, man. How was it meeting the great you, man? Free big draws, man, by the way, man. How was it meeting that brother, man?
Nah, man, that was all right, man. You're a cool brother, man. A few of them over there, without just saying
Yeah,
names
on
and
hood.
shit,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like to drop names, but a few of them over there I met, because I used to actually work down at the auto zone down on Crenshaw and Slauson, So I done met a few of them. They used to come in the store and, we'll holler, you know what I'm saying? They cool peoples, man.
Yeah, man. Just not to go into too much details, man, but when you seen that bullshit happen, man, where him getting indicted, man, on his birthday, man, his 60th birthday, man, and how did you feel about somebody trying to tear down another black man's legacy in America, man? How did you feel about that, man?
Yeah, man. It's just a sad, unfortunate situation, man. All I can say is, man, um, uh, prayers for his family. You know what I'm saying? Prayers for him and his family, man. You know, and hopefully, he could get the best situation he could get. Um, but yeah, it's just unfortunate, man.
On the hood. And another homie too, 4 extras out the 40s, man. Him having a tragic accident with his hand, man. And how did you feel about that? And when you seen that, man, what was your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I heard about it. That's just a unfortunate, man. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't be messing with them fireworks, man. I really don't, man, because they just they unpredictable, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm shell shocked. I done been shot. You know what I'm saying? So I suffer from PTSD. I don't really be liking all that. So I stay away from the fireworks. But prayers to him, man. Hope he get better soon.
Not on the hood. But yeah, man. What I was gonna say, shit getting real in the field. When you was you know what I'm saying, just reminiscing, man, just being in California, man. Anything you miss about Missouri, man, besides your family, obviously, and driving in the neighborhood, anything you miss?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Being in that park on them Sundays, we did the park on Sundays, man. Uh, sliding down West Flojo, West Flossin, West Flossin. Uh, man, the LA Amico, man. Just being, look, man. The hardest thing for me about being out here is that it ain't too many people that know me. Like when I go home, it's a lot of people that know me, and it feel good to be somewhere where everybody know you. You know what I'm saying? Because you getting that love, especially if you a person that give out the love, you getting that love back. You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, I ain't gonna lie, like them Sundays, riding up Natural Bridge, you know what I'm saying? Riding up Grand, man, hitting Saints when that was open. You know what I'm saying? The Palace back then when that was open. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. People be outside, you know what I'm saying? Just twisting up through people blocks and shit, you know what I'm saying? Giving out love and getting the love back.
On the hood, cuz. Well, yeah, man, I appreciate you for tapping in with me though, man.
Yeah,
Give
for
me
sure.
yeah, on hood, man. Shit, give me your social media and your IG though, man. Again, man, you feel me? So they can tap in with you again, though, brother.
Man, Benefactor, BINAFACTA, YouTube, IG, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Benefactor, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
On hood, man. But hey, man, I appreciate the homie coming in, man. But until next time, man, it's your boy Dreaming Foreign, never living life born.
For
On
sure.
hood. On hood.
All right.